How important was 3 points, especially the way things were going tonight, and just get those 3 points?
Yeah, 3 points are always important. You always want to come out with a win, and I think there is something to be said, I guess, for grinding out even a tie on the road. But especially your home games, you're always looking for 3. And I think just the philosophy with our group is that we're not overly confident, but we expect to go out and win every game. So I mean, I know some teams might even say, hey, we play for a tie. I think when you play for a tie, you end up losing more than you win. But 3 big points for us, definitely.
Did it feel like to you that there was some sort, not a switch flip, but it felt like the urgency picked up around the 70th minute in there, and it was just a matter of time almost?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those games, you've been on the wrong end of a lot of those where you feel like you have most of the play, you feel like you're creating most of the opportunities, and if you don't score early, the team that's on the back foot just all of a sudden sneaks one in, especially with the weather being what it is. It was kind of set, for one shot, a deflection off of the wet surface or something, and it finds the back of the net. I mean, they had one that hits the post that was against the run of play. But I think, maybe the change of momentum, which we didn't have early on, which we're definitely getting now, which we're happy about, was I think, we started making some changes and our subs really came on and gave us a lift. And, obviously, we were able to sustain some pressure, maybe even increase the pressure a little bit, which gave us, Kevin's goal.
With this being the first shutout of the league season, is that kind of like a sigh of relief for you guys to get that done?
Yeah, it seems like it's been a long time coming. I think, again, not even just early on, but this season, we've had a ton of injuries in the back, and it's always been a little bit of a revolving door. We started the same back group, from Wednesday's match that we thought, we played well. But, yeah, I mean, the shutout, it's definitely been a long time coming, and we hope that it's something that we can build on moving forward because, there's that old cliche that defense wins championships, and it does. And so I think especially coming down the stretch, every goal it just becomes that much more critical.
You had a long stretch there, especially in the second half, where it seemed like you were getting a lot of corners. And you guys are having trouble converting on corners. Is that a concern?
Definitely. I think we went 3 or 4 corners that weren't even viable options for us, and I think there's a little bit of fatigue that sets in. Again, it was a tough match on Wednesday, and 2 days recovery to come and play tonight. I think that's a little evident. Is just technique starts to slip just a little bit. So it is concerning. I think it's something that. Set pieces are the -- way to score. And so, we need to make sure we're giving ourselves every opportunity to get on the end of them. Obviously, we've fallen victim to set pieces, in the near, just the recent history. But it's definitely something we need to just sharpen up and at least give ourselves a chance because you never know what's going to happen. You get the ball in good areas and hopefully we start converting more.
Kevin I think he had the majority of shots and goals for you guys today. He was all over the place with DC United too. Was it fitting that he got the goal today, being that he's been such a big player in this past week?
He's been a big player for us all season, but he's definitely one of those guys who is just a tireless worker. You got to love it. He's kind of the eternal optimist of always, on the front foot, always, looking to get one. And he definitely, I think, willed that one in today. He gets himself in so many good chances or good opportunities, good positions to get chances, and he does so much for our team, just creating opportunities. And so definitely happy for him. Again, some players just, they might be hanging their head when things aren't going their way, and he's just always plugging away, always going. And yeah, it was fitting that it's a shot that's a deflection that comes back to him, and he capitalizes on the moment. So it was great for him. All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Josh. How much did the weather affect what you guys were trying to do tonight?
Yeah, we're a passing team, so we love the long ball, and obviously Bobby's magic at it. But tonight it had to be spot on every time. Normally on the turf it will hang up and you can and you can get on the end of it. But tonight it would just run out of bounds, and so the pass had to be as sharp as as sharp as it's been all season. To be fair, at times it was. I think it took us a good 20 minutes to get used to it, but I think we definitely coped with it better than they did.
How about defensively?
Defensively, it's just they were pretty direct. They tried to get in behind us quite a bit, so it's just a matter of getting pressure on the ball in the midfield, and when guys are trying to pick their head up, defense as a group has to drop, and we did a pretty good job of it. I'd say 3/4 of the game. There was a span of 10 minutes or so. They got in a couple. They had the post once, I think, and we got to do a better job and consistently do that the whole game, drop as a group. But overall, it was all right.
Kevin, the other night you talked about persistence, about how important that was, and tonight again you had a bunch of shots in the first half on goal. You kept coming out. Take us through that, like what your mindset was.
Yeah, obviously going into halftime, I was a bit disappointed with my final quality. I had a few chances to maybe get a better shot off or get an assist. But I always think that I never get too worried about missing chances. It's when they stop coming that I start to you start to get a bit frustrated. But they kept coming all night, and we're starting to worry about our scoring in every game record at about the 70th, which was a bit of extra motivation. As a offensive unit, we're really proud of that. So I'm glad we could keep it going.
Anthony, with it being the first shutout in the USL, is that a sign of relief for you? Do you guys kind of feel better?
Yeah, it's a little monkey up our back, finally. Say it's a little bit embarrassing. It took this long to be completely honest, but win's a win, shutout's a shutout. It's good to get a clean sheet. Especially after the last couple of games, I thought we've been playing pretty well defensively as a group, and to finally have a goose egg on their side to show for it is good.
The combination that was back there with you. How did you feel about the group that was out there with you tonight?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been consistent for the last couple of games, So anytime you can have that continuity over more than 1 or 2 games, it's going to be a positive. So, G's back healthy. Willie's shifted out right. It's been a good thing. I think we can keep that going.
Anthony, I'm also curious how important it is to have a capable defensive midfielder like Steven in front of you guys all the time.
Yeah, he does a good job. He's in there to, kind of break things up. He's also a good passer of the ball as well. So with a guy like Danny, who we all know is our workhorse in there, our engine, it's good to have a guy step in there and kind of get the job done as well.
How much of an adjustment was it to have some different guys in some new roles, Max in the midfield and Drew up front? Was there an adjustment period at the start of the game anyway?
Yeah, I thought Max had a great first half. He's not had much game time at all, and obviously after 60 minutes he looked a bit leggy. But it's good to see that we've our starting group is top notch, and it's good to see that the boys that are coming in are starting right in. So it brings a lot of confidence to the squad.
Next week is a return trip to Rochester since the last win there last year. I know it's probably not thinking that too much right now, but thoughts on Rochester?
Yeah, they've got off to a great start. They've got a great bit of momentum behind them. I was in the game yesterday. They tied it in the 88th, but we didn't fear anyone. We went to Rochester and picked up 3 points. Last year we went down to Rochester and picked up 3 points. So we'll go down there full of confidence, and in this league anyone can beat anyone. It's all about who turns up on the day, and I'm pretty confident we'll give them a great game.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.